Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Terry Cooper, and I am visiting Dr. Robert DiMartino here in Henderson, Nevada, here at Superior Health Solutions. So make sure I get that name
That's
right.
right. Tricky one.
And we are going to chat just a few minutes about the new technologies that we're bringing into holistic wellness. And I'm very excited about one particular thing, although we have the capability of doing many things.
Sure.
But I wanted to just isolate this particular disease process that I'm seeing rampant throughout, I guess the Midwest. I think it's rampant everywhere, right?
The whole U.S.
So Hashimotos, which is a thyroid autoimmune disease, and it can happen. It happens often after a woman has a baby, but we see it. It just seems like it's everywhere anymore,
Yeah.
right? Just these thyroid issues. So these technologies that we're bringing in, you have had an amazing success rate. It's actually what got me here.
Yeah.
You know that,
Yes,
right? That's
yes,
what really brought me here.
Sure, of course.
Was because of that success rate. Can you just talk a little bit about what you've done and how that's happened?
Well, when we look at the statistics of autoimmune in general, right? So now one out of 12 people are autoimmune, and 1 out of 9 women. And really, that number is probably more realistically like 1 out of 6. So this is a huge epidemic that's going on. And Hashimoto's, being an autoimmune condition, is the most common of all of the autoimmunes that we see. And
I mean, of course, there's lupus, and
you got lupus, and you've got rheumatoid, and you've got multiple sclerosis, and now there's about 188 different diseases that have some sort of an autoimmune component towards it. More endometriosis just got added as one. Autism has a component towards it. Fibromyalgia has a component towards it. This is now becoming a little bit more well understood and a little bit, grossly encompassing a lot of problems. But Hashimoto's is still kind of the poster child because everyone gets brought in with it. And the thing with Hashimoto's is first off, it's badly misdiagnosed.
Okay.
Most of the time, because realistically 90% of the people by statistic who have a thyroid related issue have Hashimoto's, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the traditional marker or two that will get evaluated for them on a general blood work is going to show it.
Okay.
There's 10 different markers that we have to run in order to accurately diagnose somebody's thyroid problem, and most people get 1 of 2, so maybe 10 or 20% of the actual problem is even getting looked at. And then what happens is people don't feel well. I don't feel good. I have all these symptoms. They all say thyroid. They go in and they get these 1 or 2 markers out of the 10 check. They say, no, it's not your thyroid. And then it sends the patient on this wild goose chase. They're doing 100 other things. They're looking at all these other different kinds of problems. And they're wasting a lot of time, money, and effort. They still feel terrible because they told them, oh, this is not the issue. So they're searching in all these other places. But meanwhile, it was the issue. You just didn't dig deep enough and do it the correct way, frankly.
Right.
So when you can evaluate it properly, which is what we went over, and then how you do that, and then being able to have these tools that allow us to balance the immune system, because in any autoimmune, but especially Hashimoto's, your thyroid is the victim. He's not working right. I mean, there's no thing, but he's not working right because your immune system has become confused for whatever reason. We have to figure that out, and is attacking that tissue. So it would be like, if I was using the analogy, it's if my son goes to school, I give him $5 to get lunch, and then someone else beats him up and takes the $5. Well, what's my solution? Is it to not send him to school the next day? To cut him out, right? Is my solution to give him $50 the next day? No, he's probably gonna get beat up worse, right?
Yeah.
So the solution is you have to handle the bully. And in this case, it's where the focus goes towards the immune system, which is notoriously a difficult thing to do with nutrition alone. It works, but it's hard. Adding in these technologies, these specific things we're able to do, allows us to balance out the immune system incredibly predictably, to where we can put people into remission, out of danger, get their things normalized.
Did you hear that? Say that again.
So we can put them into remission fairly predictably, and a lot of the times we've had great success seeing antibodies actually go away. But remember, it's nothing that we're doing, it's putting the body in a healing state where it's able to heal itself. But now with these technologies, which are really where the next wave of healing is going, in my personal opinion, and judging by the results that we're able to get with it, it's something that couldn't be done before.
Right.
It allows us another wrinkle, another element to be able to get get the body to be able to make those kind of changes. So that opens up
relatively quickly
in relatively short periods of time. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot more option out there than just the drugs and surgery side. There's a lot more options out there than just even a nutritional side now to get these kind of autoimmune conditions, and very much so including Hashimoto's, significantly improved, changing people's lives day to day.
Because what we're really seeing in the medical world, and